Baird. I'm one of the partners here at Parallel Technologies. My role is Vice President of National Accounts and been with the company for 28 years now, which I know I don't even look 28, but I have been. And my role throughout the years, I've played different roles within the organization. Currently, I'm taking care of our large customers and looking to expand our partnerships and our products in our portfolio. Our core business has always been on the telephony side of it, IP telephone systems, carrier services, and now we're seeing different products mold into one, which is ironic. Our name is Parallel Technologies, but they're really, those technologies have crossed over now, and so we're doing things like SD-WAN, like secure cybersecurity, like IP telephony. So we've expanded our product portfolio to reach a broader definition of organizations throughout the state of Ohio and actually throughout the country and around the world. So why did we sell the company to an ESOP? Because it was a win-win for everybody. It takes care of the former owners, the new owners. It creates and continues the legacy that we've built over the last, since 1983, I can't even add up that many years. It just made sense. And so we, as the four of us, had purchased a company. We turned around a year and a half later and said, okay, what are we going to do next, right? We've done this and we've done it very well. However, the four of us aren't spring chickens anymore. Not that we're old, but there's got to be the next phase of evolution within the organization. And we thought to ourselves, and I'll give credit to my partner, Don Poland. He was at a meeting with members of a peer group, and we heard a presentation on ESOP, and it just sort of clicked. It just made sense right there and then to say, hey, this is something that we want to explore. And if you know Parallel as an organization, from 1983 till now, it is truly a family. I mean, the average tenure of our employees is 18 to 20 years, 18 on the sales side, 20 on the operations side. And we said to ourselves, okay, how do we continue the legacy? And by forming an ESOP, we realized that we can take this from when we bought it to here and taking it to the next level with our group of 45 employees. Process of forming the ESOP, if it wouldn't have been during a global pandemic, I probably would have a different answer. But we started exploring it late 2019 and got some traction for sure. Started making more sense. And like anything, the more you learn about something, the more questions that come up. So were moseying through the process, and then boom, COVID hit. And we just assumed ourselves, look, now it's the time, not the time to just go hog wild crazy on trying to get this accomplished. We need to make sure that the entity survives, because nobody knew what was going to happen back then. And the business didn't miss a beat. And so therefore we were able to refocus as the four owners and say, okay, there are not a whole lot of ESOP transactions going on right now. And so it's a blessing and a curse, right? We're in a global pandemic, but at the same time, our advisor in the transaction, all the deals that he had in the pipeline sort of blew up because of COVID. And so we were able to streamline the process, and it was not without bumps in the road. Again, back to you learn more, you want to know more. What about this? What about that? But we had the idea that we were going to push through and make this happen. It made sense to everybody, and here we are, March, and our employees are incredibly excited about it. The professional resources that we utilized from the transaction standpoint, when we first came up with the idea of making a go of this, we reached out to a lot of business owners throughout the community, and learned a lot from those folks. Um, we're blessed that we have several of our customers, long-term customers, that are ESOP companies as well. And so they were willing and able to, open up their mind, that were willing to share with us of, hey, this was a pitfall, this worked out well, this is what the employees' initial reactions were. So we learned a whole bunch from talking to business owners throughout Columbus and actually across the country. And now what we've done is work with organizations like yourselves and building the better mousetrap. So we don't know what we don't know, and we're learning. This is an ongoing process, and we're so new into this. It helps. I'm a firm believer of the more questions you ask, the better, the better able you are to respond to questions. And more questions we ask other businesses and thought leaders throughout Columbus that aren't ESOP business owners, of what they thought of it will do to the culture and to the reputation and the brand of Parallel Technologies. And the feedback was just tremendous. Of everything we heard didn't steer us away from what we wanted to try to get accomplished. What I've seen since becoming an employee-owned that stands out to me is not only the excitement, which we just discussed, but the creativity that comes out of people. We have smart, quality, driven people here, and it's taken them to the next level. Well, here's our process here. Well, okay, well, we could go fork in the road here, here, and here. Well, why don't we just go this path instead? And it's neat, and I don't like the word neat, but it is pretty neat to see people that have been with the organization for a long time that just, boom, the light bulb goes off for them and says, I'm an owner now. If I improve this process or procedure, it's going to flow to the bottom line. And I think that is, it's really nice to see. If a fellow business owner came to me, which ironically several have since we formed the ESOP, and asked whether it would be a good idea, 100% yes. Not everybody's situation is going to be the exact same as ours, but to explore it, or to not explore it, is it's beyond belief. And me understanding how few ESOP companies there are around the country makes no sense to me whatsoever. We'll circle all the way back to our first question. It's a win-win for everybody. And, so when I put my head on the pillow at night now, I know that there's a plan, right? I have a exit strategy, whether it be in 5, 10 years, it doesn't have to be defined, but there's that next level of leadership that is there ready to take, Parallel to further heights than we were before. Our people are everything. We live in a world that, sure, we have different products, but it's becoming somewhat commoditized, right? So how do you differentiate yourself? You differentiate yourself from the people. And that's everybody here has that same philosophy. Fellow business owners, they love the culture that we've established here. We trust our folks, we empower our folks, and it just creates an environment where you want to come to work every day. Now, don't get me wrong, every day is not perfect. We're in a service-based industry, and things get ugly at times. But at the end of the day, we know that we are going to work hard to maintain the culture, and therefore, it's hard to go wrong when you have a great culture. Rewarding success, it's another value. People have grown within this organization. We have been very good at looking at the people and rewarding people with success and growth within the organization. And then I would have to say trust. trust to me is invaluable. We all trust each other. We know that at the end of the day, we're looking out for everybody. And I hate to say it, in this world these days, you don't hear a lot of that anymore. And that to me is comforting. When I go home and share the stories with my wife about the trust that not only the four partners have had in the past, but the trust among everybody, there's nobody that's employed at Parallel Technologies that I don't trust impeccably. And I think that that defines who we are. That's what I know, Parallel Technologies. And it brings a smile to my face and gives me the goosebumps that we have great people. And look, this is an environment where nobody ever wants to leave, but now nobody ever wants to leave, right? I mean, we set it up such that that people are going to be here for the rest of their careers. But it made a whole lot of sense, and it's caused a lot of people to step up their game too at the same time. And not that we had any C players, but maybe you went from a B to an A minus, and we're all about continuing, to grow and learn from this. So it is new, and so we just need to keep the momentum going with the folks. And I think I'm sure you can attest to this. The first time we do a stock rollout, that probably will do a lot of good. As a business owner, I didn't really know what an ESOP was, so the rank and file folks, they really didn't know what any. So I remember seeing a lot of glazed over eyeballs when we were rolling this out. But people are starting to ask a lot of good questions. So it's been great.